Hello, everyone. My name is Shola Abulu. I'm the principal consultant of Shola Abulu and Associates. Now, this is going to be a very, very short video. I just want to talk about our upcoming course on April 24th, 2025. It's the Issues, Crisis, and Reputation Management course. Now, there's a word missing in that. It should actually be Crisis Communications and Reputation Management course because the focus is really on crisis communications. But why we call it crisis management, and you hear us using that term a lot, is because the management of a crisis involves many things, including communications, includes engagement, includes actually fixing the problem and addressing the issue. So this course talks about crisis management as a whole and the role that communications plays in it. I think this is very important to note because a lot of people don't really know that communications is at the heart of crisis management and that communications should take the lead in crisis management. We do know that sometimes, depending on how a communications a crisis comes up, you will need, of course, the business leader has to lead, and then you will need maybe the legal experts, you need HR, operations, finance, whoever is really part of what is going on in that space. But the most important thing is that communications has to guide in terms of how you map your stakeholders, your audiences, what you're going to say, what you're going to do. So I really enjoy facilitating this course because we review real life case studies and examples from within and outside Africa. We're talking real life. In all the courses, really, actually, we're talking real life, but even more so in this one. And the good thing about this, the fascinating thing about this is that when a crisis is well managed, it is obvious to everybody from the media coverage, from the social media conversation. Literally, we are watching you. Unlike every other thing that you may do, like a brand strategy, marketing, whatever, which is just between you and your brand and you and your customers. With crisis, the whole world is watching you, particularly if it's one of those really complex, like high profile crime crisis. Everybody's watching you and saying what's going on. So you have to be in your best behavior. Likewise, so when it is poorly managed, the results are there for everyone to see, which is why we always have a lot of case studies in this crisis communications and reputation management course. We have a lot of case studies to review of best practice. The ones that did it well, we have evidence, as in the evidence is there. So the purpose of this course is to ensure that your organization does not become a future case study for how not to manage a crisis response. The only way to avoid that is for you to be trained upfront. I've heard many professionals say things like, "Well, I don't really think I'll need this in my job." That's the truth. That's the expectation, but nobody ever expects a crisis. But guess what? It always comes. So what you want to do, particularly if you're a communications professional, is invest in that training upfront, so that the day it happens, you are the person while everybody else is confused. You have a framework that you can bring out from your bag and say, and look at it before you go into the meeting, because we'll literally hand over of the templates from the course. And these are things you can always refer to when it's required. So I hope you can join us on the 24th of April because we're going to be looking into. And to be honest, this is a course that your organization should be able to sponsor you for, but even if they can't, invest in yourself. Because what thing you can be sure of is that very few people attend crisis communications training. This would look very good on your CV. The certificate will look very good on your CV. And if you are at any point in time trying to go for a corporate communications job, you will have the language of how to talk about preparing to manage the crisis communications, taking the lead, supporting, managing the media response, common mistakes to avoid, the do's and the don'ts, the learnings. You already know what is wrong to do. I know someone who attended our course sometime last year. She's an HR professional. She attended because communications is under her remit. When they had an issue within their organization, she knew immediately. She knew, this is what needs to be done or this is what we should avoid doing. So she just had that frame of reference, which is what this course provides you for. You don't plan for crisis, but then it's just like being in your house or driving a car, you don't have seatbelt and all of that. You don't plan that one day something will happen, but just in case, you make sure you have your seatbelt, make sure you have your fire extinguisher. These are safety gadgets that you need to have in place because you don't know what will happen and next. So I look forward to seeing you. If you'd like to reach out to us as well, let us know.